I still remember how my phone lit up the room at 2:19 a.m. One short notification, one name I didn't recognize, and then a message that split my entire life in half. You made your choice, now I'm making mine. Beneath it was a photo, and it took me a few seconds, very long, unreal seconds, to understand what I was looking at. It was my girlfriend, with someone else, on my property, in my jacket, under the street lamp I had installed myself. And the worst part? She was looking straight into the camera, like she knew the photo would be sent to me, like it was the point. My heart slammed against my ribs so hard it felt like it was trying to escape. I didn't remember standing up, didn't remember turning on the light. I only remember staring at that photo with shaking hands, trying to make sense of the blurry face of the guy she was with. Someone familiar, someone just out of reach in my memory. My mind spiraled between two extremes, rage boiling so violently that it blurred my vision, and a desperate hope that this was some sick prank. But who would do that? Why? And if it was fake, why did she look so calm in it? Too calm, unnaturally calm. I waited for morning like a caged animal. When she finally walked in around 7, quiet, thinking I was still asleep, I felt something inside me snap. Her hair was messy. Her clothes carried a faint trace of cologne I didn't recognize. "Where were you?" I asked. My voice cracked, and I hated that it did. She froze. Something flickered in her eyes. Not fear, annoyance. "At work," she said, slipping into the hallway. "At 2 in the morning?" I raised my phone. "Explain this." She glanced at the screen, exhaled, slow and irritated, as if I were interrupting her peaceful morning with nonsense. "Are you serious? You believe every random message you get?" No panic, no confusion, just cold, practiced calm. That, more than the photo, destroyed me. "Tell me the truth," I said. "Who is he?" She walked past me, dropped her bag on the table, and spoke without looking back. "I'm tired, Alex. Not now." But later was already too late. While she showered, washing off a scent that wasn't mine, I stared at the photo again, and suddenly I noticed a detail that made my stomach twist. Behind them, near the garage, there was a faint shadow, not the photographer, another person, watching. I went outside, barefoot, still half in disbelief. The spot under the street lamp showed fresh footprints, multiple sets, and on the ground, crushed into the dirt, was a cigarette butt with a distinctly torn filter edge. Only one person I knew smoked like that. My best friend, Derek. My hands went numb. When I walked back inside, she was already wrapped in a blanket on the couch, staring at her phone like nothing in the world was wrong. "I want the truth," I said quietly. She looked at me like I was the problem. "Fine. You want honesty? I felt alone for a long time. You barely even look at me anymore." "That's not an explanation," I whispered. "That's an excuse." She hesitated, then said the words that broke something deep inside me. "Sometimes I need someone who actually sees me." It wasn't guilt. It wasn't apology. It was justification. I walked out before I said something I couldn't take back. "Called Derek. We need to talk." He replied instantly, too instantly. "Sure, name the place." We met at an old soccer field we used to sneak into as kids. The sky was gray, the wind sharp. He stood with his hands in his pockets, eyes avoiding mine. "Were you there last night?" I asked. Silence. His jaw tightened, and that was all the answer I needed. "Why, man?" My voice cracked again. "You were like a brother to me." He finally looked up. "She came to me first," he said quietly. "You didn't see how unhappy she was." He said it like I was supposed to accept it, like betrayal was noble if you had a reason. "You knew this would destroy everything." "She was choosing me," he said, "and I chose her. You weren't giving her what she needed."
And the photo? He exhaled slowly. You needed a wake-up call. That's a lie, I said. It wasn't a wake-up call. It was humiliation. He didn't deny it. I felt something hot, dangerous, flood my body. My fists clenched until my nails dug into my palms. I could have hit him, hard. I wanted to, but I didn't. Hurting him would only prove that he had power over me, that both of them did. I walked away. When I came home, she was packing her bags. No tears, no apologies, just leaving, like moving out of a rental apartment. Do you want me to stop you? I asked, though I already knew the answer. A single pause. Then, no, I want you to understand. I do understand. You were never honest with me, not once. She didn't respond. She simply left. The door closed softly, almost lovingly, and somehow that softness hurt the most. The house was painfully quiet after that, her side of the closet empty, her scent fading from the hallway. Nights felt long and hollow, but slowly, painfully, something inside me began to shift. I started noticing things again, morning light on the kitchen counter, the smell of coffee, the way silence can feel peaceful instead of heavy. It was like surfacing after being underwater for too long. Weeks later, Derek finally texted me, "You'll regret letting her go." I stared at the message, then deleted it, blocked his number, just like I blocked that part of my life. They were the past, a closed chapter, a burned bridge I wasn't planning to rebuild. And in the quiet that followed, I realized something life-changing. Sometimes, betrayal doesn't destroy you. It destroys the version of you that was blind. And what rises from the ashes is finally real. For the first time in a long time, I belonged to myself. And that was the beginning of everything.